Well, this is a big event. Kingdom Hearts Missing Link is no longer missing. Right, cue the dad jokes and the applause. If you were excited for this, I'm sorry. It is officially canceled. It was actually announced on the Twitter account or the X account, whatever you want to call it, for the official Kingdom Hearts Missing Link game. And there was an entire statement put up here, which I'm going to talk about. I can also link to it in the description and, down below so you can check it out if you want to. Originally, I was going to show up in this video in person with a camera, but then I realized I'd have to squint to read this entire thing or use a second phone. So we're going to do it right here. But essentially, there was a development team announcement labeled an important announcement regarding Kingdom Hearts Missing Link, saying, "We have made the decision to cancel the development of Kingdom Hearts Missing Link. We wish to convey our heartfelt apologies to everyone who has been looking forward to the start of service. Although we worked hard on developing and adjusting the game in the hope that it would be enjoyed by lots of players, we determined that it would be difficult for us to offer a service that players would find satisfactory over a long period of time, leading us to the decision to cancel development. We would like to take this opportunity to express our thanks to everyone who gave us their support and assistance with the multiple closed beta tests. We are truly sorry to have to make this announcement. The Kingdom Hearts series will continue. We are hard at work on Kingdom Hearts 4 and hope you'll continue to support the series as you keep an eye out for further updates." Now, I'm going to give you my own thoughts on this briefly as a fan of this series. Obviously, I don't work on it. Would love to do that, but I don't. But as someone who has, kind of been here since the very first game, and I do have a question of the day for you, which is, do you care? Like, do people care, I guess people watching this, that this game was canceled? Because this game was actually going to get into storylines, I believe, regarding like Scala Ad Caelum and the old Keyblade masters and things like that, and basically, the era before Sora. And I think that there's some very interesting story that can be covered there. But in general, I'm also kind of like, did we want that story confined on a mobile game after what they did with things like Union Cross and Dark Road? I personally didn't, but I'm interested to see what you think about that. Now, I will say this. I also play through these games, these Kingdom Hearts games, over on my other channel, Degenerate Plays, which is our podcast-style Let's Play channel. My friend Nate and I have already played through Kingdom Hearts 1 and Rechain of Memories, and sometime in the near future, we want to play through 358. So, if you're interested in something like that, fans hanging out, playing these games, that'll be in the link down below. But I do cover some Kingdom Hearts stuff on this channel, and RPG games right here on this channel. Now, the thing with Kingdom Hearts is there is pretty much infinite possibilities for storylines you can cover. However, with Tetsuya Nomura announcing that, he's thinking about retiring in the next handful of years, and that, he is not an old man, but he's getting to what he believes is the end of his career with Square Enix and working in the games industry, I am concerned about the direction of this franchise without him. Now, this game, Missing Link, if I am not mistaken in what I'm remembering, because I don't have like a bunch of notes for this, but from covering this before, I believe that this was him also having more like different people work on the story for this. It wasn't really like a Tetsuya Nomura project. I'm sure he like had a hand in it. I'm sure he was involved to some extent, but it was kind of like an opportunity to see, all right, now we're going to have other people write a Kingdom Hearts story, and that's going to be set in kind of this missing era, and there's a big gap there. And my understanding was Nomura himself didn't necessarily have a grand story to tell in that era, and that's kind of why he was allowing that story to be told, right? I mean, to him, and he said it before, a lot of what Kingdom Hearts is Sora, and is this character that connects all these different people. And so it doesn't really seem like he's someone who's super interested in going to all these different eras if they don't connect directly to his love child of a character, to his baby, which is Sora. And, obviously Riku and Kairi by extension. There are other stories with other characters, but they always do tie back to the story of Sora. I was going to say the story of Sora, because like that is, what Kingdom Hearts is to him in a lot of ways, is connections through Sora. And so with this, it's kind of a catch-22 for me. Like, I would have been very interested in this other era, and when it comes to different franchises, I do believe that if your world is deep and rich, it can support more than one character, or it can support more than one era often in the world. You know, you look at Lord of the Rings, you look at all these different things, you look at Chronicles of Narnia, you know, it can be forced, right? Like, there can be franchises that try way too hard to branch out into different eras, but I do think it can be done. My thing, though, with it is when you don't have the series architect as focused on that game, to my understanding, with him being more focused on Kingdom Hearts 4, and there aren't a ton of proven stories without his heavy involvement in this franchise yet, you can't blame people for being skeptical of what this was going to be. And then on top of it, from this announcement, you know, saying that it was canceled, basically saying things like, you know, that they couldn't make it a long-term thing. It's like, this was very obviously, you know, a big games as a service thing, which they can work. You know, I'm always shilling my Fortnite code and things like that. Like, there's games as a service, you know, types that are very, very good. But you also see tons of games like this that don't have legs. They don't have any longevity. It's not like a console game where it has a start point and an end point and it can be replayed over and over, you know, or a PC game with like a single player story or campaign. It's like a game where people keep expecting to want to interact with it daily or weekly, and you have to be able to fulfill that. And then also, of course, we know with Square Enix, they are very, 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 what's the correct word? Money grubbing with their mobile games, just in particular. Like, the amount of mobile games, we covered it before, that have been shut down is astounding. Like, it's crazy the amount of lost media around these franchises there is, because, like, it existed. It's like kind of lost media, because it's like it existed and then it had a life and then the life was cut off. You could no longer interact with it, but you could see bits of that media like on YouTube and stuff. It's just you couldn't do the media yourself. You know, you couldn't play that game. It's like a weird gray area, I think, delisted games and stuff like that when it comes to lost media. And we even talked before about Kingdom Hearts Dark Road. That was a story that was very important to the character of Xehanort. And whenever I bring it up, people say, well, you could just go on YouTube and watch people play it, or you can watch the cutscenes. Yeah, you can. That's not actually what the game was designed for primarily, though. I'm not saying Let's Plays are bad. I'm not saying watch-throughs or walkthroughs are bad. You know, like, I do Let's Plays myself on that art channel. Like I said, I love them. But I wouldn't advocate that, like, a game that I Let's Play through should be delisted and that my Let's Play is going to be a one-to-one experience for you playing through the game. That's not what it is at all. It will never be that. And so you have games like Union Cross and Dark Road shutting down, and there were a lot of people, I think, kind of huffing copium and hoping that Missing Link coming out would actually be a way to bring those back in like an app, where you have like a Kingdom Hearts app with these different games. They thought, well, maybe they delisted Dark Road, you know, so it wouldn't take attention away from Missing Link and you'd be able to access it through that. Well, now Missing Link isn't even coming out. So Dark Road's gone. Missing Link isn't coming out. That story of Xehanort, you now have to go through like either summaries or walkthroughs online, you know, or Let's Plays to see it. And now there's this entire era of Kingdom Hearts story that isn't going to be tackled, at least right now. Now, does that mean that it's permanently gone? That this couldn't be reworked in some fashion into a console game? Maybe a side game, a smaller game? No, it doesn't. We don't know yet what's going to happen with that. But it is unfortunate to see that there were a lot of people who were excited for this, even though I wasn't, that they're never going to be able to play this, and it's just another blemish on Kingdom Hearts actually in recent years, which hasn't really made anything since Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, there's been very little, I guess, Melody of Memory, but like that didn't really add much of anything to the series. You know, it's just, it's not great to see kind of like what's going on with the franchise right now. There's a very big drought when it comes to releasing anything. They shouldn't pump stuff out just to get it out there. But like, this idea was cool. The idea of making your own Keyblade master or wielder and, you know, being able to customize them, going on missions, doing things like that. The GPS stuff like Pokemon Go, I wasn't a big fan of, but hey, you know, if it got people out of their house, walking around, interacting, that's great. That's fantastic. In general, though, like those ideas of making your own character, it's kind of like a Hogwarts Legacy type thing for Kingdom Hearts. Like, maybe you don't just play as Sora, maybe you play as your own character. I think that idea was really cool. I hope that idea resurfaces in another game in the future. Maybe a full console game where you have a creative character and you actually play during this era. It has game preservation. It's not on some mobile service that'll just be shut down. That, to me, would be the absolute silver lining of this, would be to have those story beats come back and those ideas come back in a console and PC game that isn't reliant on Square Enix not shutting down their mobile games, which is something that, like, I genuinely think is like heroin for them. Like, I think it is a drug to Square Enix executives to shut down mobile games. Like, I think these guys, it's what gets them up in the morning. Like, you know, it's like, for you and me, it's water. For them, it's like killing services. It's like, that's their lifeblood. So to not give them the opportunity to do that again, maybe this was like the ultimate troll. They let it be developed for this long. They killed it before it even came out. That would be like the ultimate high for them. I don't know. But in general, we're not getting this game. Please salvage those ideas. They're very cool for this universe. And Kingdom Hearts is very lacking in customization. So to have your own character and be able to do that, that would be amazing for a game. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. I do think there are things that could be salvaged from this, turned into something else, and could be very good. It could actually be something where we look back in 10 years and it's like, wow, thank God that didn't come out. It ended up being a way better game because of it. Who knows? Interested to hear your thoughts. If you want to support this channel, you know, you can use our Fortnite code, like I said. You can check out our other channels, subscribe, leave a like here. We appreciate it very much. Let us know what you think. And also, we do have our own store, cosmobunny.shop, where you can use code DJAY123 for 10% off your first purchase. Coasters, keychains, trays, and more, made from recycled paper from damaged books, manga, magazines, comics, etc. Basically, we save books that are damaged. They're going often into landfills, often being thrown out. We repurpose and we transform some of that media into, or that art or paper, I should say, into like a new form of media. You know, kind of one of the whole points of fair use is taking something old, transforming it entirely into something new, and then we recycle the rest of that paper. So DJAY123, we never print images to violate copyright or anything like that. We take existing paper, turn it into these amazing pieces for your home. My wife Jill is an incredible artist, does a beautiful job with it. I hope you'll check that out. Have a fantastic day. As always, everyone, stay shui.